My name is Tricky Youth. I am a musician and performance artist born and raised in New York City, and I currently reside in Los Angeles. Prayer for Protection is the first in a series of performance pieces called American Degradation Hymns, which explore devotion and the willingness to go through pain in the name of what one is devoted to. My two biggest influences in developing American Degradation Hymns were the public endurance and fear-based works of David Blaine and the performance artist Abel Ascona, particularly his works around confinement and deprivation. One thing that Abel Ascona has said that I love and relate to a lot is the idea that performance and art are actually two separate things. I don't act on scene, I live my experience and share it with the audience. And that you can't really act on scene if you're living the process, sharing your experience and inviting the audience in. I'm as in the dark as to how things are going to go as members of the audience are, and things could go any number of ways, and there's a certain amount of entropy and unpredictability that I really embrace in my work, because I want to be living that moment and inviting the audience into my experience. In a way, that's really what I've been doing for my entire artistic history, from being a spoken word performance artist, doing street performances and performing on the subways in New York City, and just finding any space to live an experience and share that with the people who are around, to traveling and riding freight trains with a few pieces of gear and a microphone, to do performances, to touring with my friend and collaborator Soren Roi with our project Public Hymns, where we would perform in front of churches and on hillsides and in the woods and parking lots and anywhere else that we could find, just exploring our relationship to that space and to the people that were around and inviting the audience in. The impetus for Prayer for Protection was a performance that I did at the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2022 with my performance partner Zero. I wanted to let the experience leave its mark on me because playing the Gathering was such a special thing to me that I wanted it to be something I could never forget, so I wanted to have it inked onto my skin. So me and Zero did that at the Gathering, and then that got the wheels turning as far as further exploring not just the pain-related aspect of it, but the ritualistic aspect of it, and the idea of letting the journey leave its mark on me, and letting it be whatever it was in that moment, and not putting it on display, but living the experience and sharing it with the audience.
There is no need to fear. I offer myself up to you.
So I came up with the idea of doing a whole tour where I'd write a prayer and Zero would tattoo a different part of the prayer on me at each show of the tour. It's a prayer of protection and devotion that goes, Lord, please keep me safe. Promise I will never stray. And in doing a long-form piece of performance art that takes place over the span of 2 weeks in front of different audiences, and with the traveling that comes along with it and just the experiences that happen in between and at the performances, it takes on the shape of whatever it'll be. And so I was inviting the audiences, not just that were at each of these shows, but they could watch me go on to the next show, or they could watch me as I came towards their town on different stops on tour and live the experience with me and be on the journey with me while it left its mark on me. And in a lot of ways, it was unpredictable. I didn't know how things were going to go on any given night, and I don't want to know how things are going to go on any given night, because I just want to be living the experience with the audience and sharing it with them.
He's seeing monsters. He's losing his mind, and he feels it going. He is intensely, extremely, terribly uncomfortable.
A perfect example of that is the last show of the tour in Knoxville. I got sick, I lost my voice, and you know, it's already a crazy thing to go through when you're performing and doing vocals and getting through a song, and there's somebody tattooing you in the moment in front of all these people and experiencing the pain and the adrenaline rush. That's enough of a crazy experience, but this one, you know, my body is shot, my voice is shot, and Zero hits me in the spot for the last tattoo, and I immediately knew this was going to be some final boss shit, and this one's going to be different. I'm not going to be able to finish this one as easily as the last few, so I actually had to lay down on the stage for them to finish it, because at that point we'd come so far that we had to finish the ritual and complete what we'd started. And it felt really special to invite people in when I was feeling that vulnerable and unsure of how things were going to go. The next performance piece in American Degradation Hymns is called Barbed Wire Infinity Symbol, which doesn't involve tattoos, but is named after a tattoo that a friend gave me a long time ago. And it's a piece that explores martyrdom, in which Zero will wrap barbed wire around my torso and arms and place a barbed wire crown of thorns on my head. And as far as how that's gonna go, I'll find out with everybody else and just live that experience with the audience. And I enjoy being as in the dark as they are as to how things will go on any given night. So the first one we'll be doing is in Pittsburgh on June 30th, and that'll be the start of a whole new journey. The song that I performed Prayer for Protection to is called Shameful, and it's a song that deals with the parts of ourselves that we hide the most, that one way or another are going to come out, often in just one violent burst. And it's about the idea of looking someone in the eyes and acknowledging to them the parts of yourself and the parts of themselves that we're the most ashamed of and that we hide, and accepting and loving those parts of ourselves that are the most damaged, the most fucked up. not that I don't feel the pain, it's just that I don't run from it. And that's really the truth, because I want the audience to see me be in pain. I wanted the audience to see me be, you know, squirming and, you know, screaming, and to engage with that, to watch a person perform in front of them in this pain and to push through. I wanted them to watch me push through. A lot of people think that I have a high pain tolerance, but I actually don't. It's pretty much entirely mental. It's just pushing myself through with willpower and devotion, and the need to push through the pain to find out what's on the other side and to let it leave its mark on me, which is why I wanted to start this series with markings, because it felt like a commitment to finishing American Degradation Hymns and exploring what I needed to through that, and hopefully finding what I needed to through that. For me, I get a lot of excitement out of the uncertainty and the transformational properties of doing art like this, where I want to push through and see what I come out of the other side as. I want to see who I come out of the other side as. And my entire artistic history is just weaving together this one long, complex story that's really just my lived experience. And for me, that's the most fulfilling way to make art. And so the hymns are just the most tangible manifestation of that in writing, in performance, and in music, where I can tell my story and invite the audience into it. A lot of the traveling spoken word pieces that I did laid the groundwork for what I do now, in also exploring devotion to a higher power and surrender. American Degradation Hymns just pushes those themes forward and is sort of the next level of commitment to those ideas.